So good evening again. Becomes more and more like family. We keep meeting together.
Oh, his mic isn't making sounds out here.
Bring a chair up and sit closer.
Shall I turn it up?
Does it need to be up?
Yeah.
You need the mic up? So it's really been wonderful and continues to be wonderful and will be wonderful. We've been practicing placing our attention on the breath. We have learned the practice of refuge in Boddhicitta, which opens a wonderful door, and there's more, of course, to understand and experience about that. We have reviewed the Vajrasattva practice this week. All of these are practices that we're going to continue to be doing on a regular basis, and you have a basis now for understanding them. We'll, particularly tonight, after our initial placing of a gathering of attention and refuge in Boddhicitta, which is really ideally how you would always begin any meditation session, we're going to do the Green Tara practice using the text. Last night we did a guided Tara meditation to get the feel of it for those of you who are new, and if you weren't here last night, you might like to look at it. Principally, when we invoke Tara, we are invoking and getting in touch with the quality that she is. This quality, as we've been saying, of very tender-hearted, very responsive, kindness, compassion. You know, like a young mother, the moment a baby wiggles a little finger, she's right there. You know, she just notices everything and she's ready to respond immediately. This very sort of tender love. And this is Tara's relationship to all living beings. She vowed to be in this responsive, tender-hearted, enlightened relationship with all living beings. And this is also what we are seeking for ourselves, to have that state of enlightenment, which is an eradication of all those things that prevent us from recognizing our own actual nature, which is actually always present. It's just hasn't burst open yet. Like I was reading Jigme Lingpa today and his chapter on Dzogchen, actually, and he uses the example of a Baiduria, which is a very beautiful blue stone, and he says, if you have this stone and it's deep inside a mountain, then you can't see it. It's there, but you can't see it. And yet, when the sun shines on it, you know, when the mountain opens a little bit, the dirt is removed, and the sun shines on it, it lights up the whole sky. So, Jigme Lingpa is using that as an example of what we're like. There's something luminous within us that it's hidden. But once it's no longer hidden, there's no limit to its expansiveness. So, of course, this is not just a theory. This is something that requires a good bit of practice and orientation to become part of one's experience, and yet it's something we can all, I think, relate to. So in that sense also, these qualities associated with Tara are, in a very important sense, nascent within us. And in fact, it wouldn't make any sense to do a practice like a Tara practice if they weren't. Could never newly create them, actually. The very famous Zen saying that perhaps you all know about a fellow who's sitting in meditation, acting like a good student, and the teacher comes by and says, "What are you doing?" And the person says, "Well, I'm sitting in meditation." And the teacher says, "Why are you sitting in meditation?" "Well, I want to become a Buddha." And the teacher picks up a stone and starts rubbing it. And the student says, "What are you doing?" And the teacher says, "I'm making a mirror." And the student says, excuse me, but you can't make a mirror by rubbing a stone. And the teacher says, you can't make a Buddha by sitting in meditation. Now, his point is not that you shouldn't be meditating. His point is that you're not making your Buddha nature. You have it. We're trying to discover it. So, all of our practices actually are oriented toward discovering that very thing. That is more us than anything that we identify with. And yet it's completely hidden. We don't know it. So it's a very poignant situation. No wonder Tara is so tender-hearted. Not only is she born from a tear of Avalokiteshvara, but she recognizes, and this is really why wisdom is said to be the essence of compassion. And compassion is also the essence of wisdom. Once one starts to get just a little bit of a sense of what the human possibility is, and realizes how blind we have been to it and how blind other people are to their own possibility, it's very poignant. It's a very tender kind of situation. Like when you hear a really talented child has been murdered in school or drummed out of school or something has happened so they couldn't fulfill their potential. We feel very strongly about that, fulfilling potential. So we practice Tara to get to know her, to get to know what it feels like to be her, and finally to become her. In terms of, and then of course in order to be able to do that, one has to have a certain base of attention, so we cultivate that. Taking refuge and Boddhicitta, developing Boddhicitta are all ways of developing more and more possibility of actually connecting with Tara in this very deep way, which is to say that all the practices that we do are connected. They're all oriented in the same direction and they support each other. So some of you who are new to this, I know how it seems, there's this and there's this and there's this. Yes, there are these different practices, but no more than there are different books in your library, that all, or different machines in your gym, There are different muscles that we need to train. There are different learnings that complete us as a well-versed human being. And so there are different practices. And one of the things that we will be talking about on our Tuesday nights, and probably have a special session on this also, is more specifically how the practices work together and really what the curriculum is. You're not expected to jump in and do all of them, right? As I keep saying, the first thing is to set up a daily practice using the practice of attention. And I think you're all equipped to do that. And I remind you again, the first 2 days, Thursday and Friday of this period, and Harvey gave very detailed instructions for those practices, so you can always look at that. So just a few words about Tara before we do our practice and then move to this text. We said already that this is a practice from Adzam Trungpa's tear, the Osel Dorje Sangha, as it says here, the secret treasures of the luminous Vajra. I'll say more about this title on Saturday as we begin, as we are when we're already engaged in the practice. We can understand that all suffering, actually, Jigme says that all suffering is rooted in birth and death. These are the main problems that we have. We're born. That gives rise to being alive, which means there's going to be some difficulty and some suffering. And then, of course, there's death, which is suffering. So it's a way of summarizing all possibilities of suffering. So when we say here to be free from fear and suffering, this is taking a very large view. Free from fear of, for example, our own afflictions, which are what lead us into suffering, according to the karmic perspective, free from all suffering whatsoever, all unsatisfactoriness. And it is Tara's vow to respond to living beings suffering, and this is also our vow. That's basically what we say here. We're vowing to protect every living being. We're going to start with protecting ourselves through our practice. And after we've said that, everything dissolves, as you already know. And Tara herself, as she arises from this, Tum is called a seed syllable. So everything arises from this luminous letter Tum, which is really how Buddhism understands the arising of the cosmos. There is spaciousness, which is actually luminous. It's not just a dead, empty spaciousness. And because of the intrinsic dynamism of that, something arises. And that's maybe not so far from the scientific view either. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama has had a lot of conversations with scientists about that, but we're not going to get too technical about it. Our sense is simply that we dissolve, and then there's this letter, and everything comes out of this. When we say that there is a mansion beyond seen and seer, we are reminding ourselves that in principle this is a non-dualistic situation. Now we may not experience it non-dualistically at this time, but at least we can understand what we are oriented toward. Everything now is pure. Everything that arises is of light. Everything is Tara or other Taras or pure realms as seen by enlightened beings. So what does this mean? This means that we are practicing what's called pure appearance. This is a very significant aspect of tantric practice. It's also part of Vajrasattva practice, pure appearance. Everything is like luminous, shining with the intrinsic luminosity of its true nature. That may be a long time before we understand that in a completely deep and experiential way, but we're already here, we're already oriented toward it. And this is the essential practice really of what we know as Gerim, stage of creation. Fundamentally, it's to cultivate this sense of pure appearance and to recognize that it is also empty of being reifiable in any way. And that, one can say, is the essence of the stage of completion. Stages of creation and completion are the two main aspects of tantric practice. Maybe that's enough to say for now. Say a little more on Saturday. Again, as we said yesterday, most important is just feeling into this. And we'll do a little preliminary opening to tenderness before we do the actual practice, like we did yesterday. Because it's not just about reciting words or trying to follow the flow, although of course we do that, but it's really about seeking to get in touch with this tremendous capacity for wisdom, compassion. Okay. Any questions before we start? That basically good. Yes.
I have one of you about Saturday. Can you go over
the timing and, because is there only one session? Is it all?
It's all day Saturday.
It is, okay.
Yes. I think it's on Facebook. It's on our Facebook page.
I saw it on there,
It should
but
be.
I just wasn't clear about whether, up to lunch with the same.
It's all day. It's all the same.
Okay.
We'll do 4 sessions. We'll do 2 before lunch, 1 after lunch, and 1 after dinner. And the principle is to hold the container of the practice. So we'll eat lunch together. Ideally, probably we'll all go out together. We're still organizing exactly where that will be. And then everybody can chip in a bit, and we'll order dinner in so that we can relax and eat together and, kind of hold the space, and then do an evening practice. Okay. So let's begin. Find your posture as always. Your alignment. The strength of the central axis of your body, which allows everything else to be supported and at ease. Your shoulders, your neck long, your chin tucked in just a little bit. And you can feel the smoothness of the flowing of your own breath because you have offered your breath a straight pathway now through your body being aligned in this way. And we'll start with Great Blazing Bliss. We'll do it in English tonight. Sometimes we'll do it in Tibetan over the weekend. Om Ahom Shri, great bliss, blazing power, palace where wisdom wants no bliss and emptiness, blissful lotus ones with no wanting, Vajra, sun great glory shines from there. True form Amitabha, Dorje, Lokesh, Lord compassion, passionate, lotus, Lord master of world and peace, power, Heruka, outshines all things. Sangwa Yeshe, Vajra, Varahi, Demcho, Desire, King, great bliss treasure, mind muse Rikshe rules all mudras, high-low dancing in bliss emptiness, power wielding dak and daki hos, seen and empty as the same. You dance your Vajra form, shakes 3 worlds, your laugh and ceaseless speech rouse 3 realms. Red light rays suffuse all worlds in peace, stir and gather world peace essences. Grant the 2 feet our supreme desire, Vajra, passion of your own heart mind. With great Vajra hooks and lassos you bind to great bliss all you know and see. Dance play in the endless magic net like sesame pods burst open with 3 roots power, God housed vast array. Bless and grant us with respect I pray, for unhindered city power in all feats high and low that I desire. And feeling yourself surrounded by family, right and left, friends, all the beings of the universe whom you are leading in chant, gazing with trust at the luminous Lama Guru Rinpoche before you in space. In 3 real jewels, 3 root bliss-filled ones, channels, winds, bright orbs, this Bodhi mind, essence, nature, moving love mandal, until full Bodhi I seek refuge. That's on page 12. Gunjok sum ngade shek zawa sum zalung tigle rang shing chanchup sem ngorang shing tu cheging korla chanchup ning pardu jab suji. In 3 real jewels, 3 root bliss-filled ones, channels, winds, bright orbs, this Bodhi mind, essence, nature, moving love mandal, until full Bodhi I seek refuge. When the streams of light come down, we dissolve up and dissolve into space. And reappearing again. Oh, like moons in water, sights deceive us. We ever roam bound in cyclic chains. So all may rest in their clear mind sphere. I raise Bodhi through 4 boundless states. Oh, not so nang wa chu de tsun reiji, kor wa lu gu jun du jambe dro, rang re gu sa ying sung ao se cheer, sem he shi ngang ne sem je do. Oh, like moons in water, sights deceive us, we ever roam bound in cyclic chains. So all may rest in their clear mind sphere. I raise Bodhi through 4 boundless states. And the luminous Lama, all wisdom and compassion, dissolves into light and melts into your own heart-mind, completely blessing your mind stream and your being. And sit with that, sing an invocation. Yabda Gyalwanam Tangyer Mepe Gandrin Sumden Tinshan Lama Che Ritzin Jorme Tupten Chatsola So Wadep Sonyamlen Tarchin Shu. And placing your attention on your breath, allowing your attention to rest on your breath in and out. Whenever you notice attention has gone elsewhere, you just bring it back. We'll do this for several minutes. As we begin to orient toward Tara, your now settled attention, let it be aware of your own experience of real tenderness. Call to mind a particular moment when you just experienced a very sweet kind of tender love. Somebody offered to you, you felt safe, protected, really seen, really cared for. And let the feeling of that be in your heart, in your body, in your energy. What it feels like to receive this very sweet, fresh, tender caring. And what it feels like to offer it. Not a story about it, but the feeling of it, whatever arises for you. And Green Tara is the luminous expression of enlightened, tender love, wise caring. And so imagine that she is sitting comfortably in front of you, sitting in space, luminous green like an emerald mountain lit by 100,000 suns, all made of light, soft, glowing, looking at you with love and caring, and you're looking at her with trust. This is someone, as soon as you see her, you know that she is someone you can really trust. She's reliable. She's responsive. She's swift like the wind. She's ready to act and to do whatever is necessary. She's the essence of accomplishing energy. That's her green color. Would you like to have a relationship with this kind of being? Would you like to have that kind of tender kindness for yourself, for all others? Again, not a story in your mind, but in your heart, what does it feel like as you consider Tara and all the specific qualities that she expresses? Qualities that mirror your own capacity. When you gaze at her, in some way you're gazing at your inner self. And wherever Tara is her pure land, everything made of light, free of any kind of defilement. And this is the land we're going to enter. And this too mirrors our own capacity and our own real nature. So Tara is before us, and we begin by silently reading the opening verse on page 1 of your text. And then once again, feel that she is resplendently in front of you, just sitting in space. She's Dakini. Dakini is one who moves through space, space of reality, space of sky. And so we take refuge and express our own compassion and intention in this next verse. And we'll sing it in English, Tibetan, and English. And feel like this is coming from your heart as much as possible. And you're speaking to her. And she's listening. Namo, to be free from fear and suffering, sublime Tara, refuge heart I trust, wishful active Boddhicittas raise, and vow to protect every being. Namo jiktang dung el dugale drolchir pa madrol majab chining bordeng mundan juk be janjo semje do yijin drogen gyobar tam jo. Namo, to be free from fear and suffering, sublime Tara, refuge heart I trust, wishful active Boddhicittas raise, and vow to protect every being. Tsa, Hong, Bum, Ho, deity host dissolve in me. Everything vanishes. Tam, all things essence, always pure, mansion be unseen seer, in its midst lotus and moon, on which green tam now becomes jade syndroma, body green, one face, two hands, peaceful smile, longu arrayed, right leg curved, right hand supreme gift mudra, takes wind out of fear and pain, at heart left three gem mudra, fresh utpala blooms at ear, glowing light endless and clear, expands invites from the sphere, boundless wise ones one with me. So we have arisen out of space, the tum, the lotus, the moon disk, and we as Green Tara seated upon it. And now as Tara we make offering to Tara in this non-dualistic way. Om Arya Tara Saparivara Bendra Samayadza Tishta Bendra Tam Atipuho Pratijaho Agam Padyam Putpe Dupe Aloke Gande Naividya Shabda Rupa Shabda Gande Rasa Sparshe Tame Pratijaho Pensha Balinda Rakta Kahi. Freeing suffering, all Buddha's yom, color true green, blue, swift heroine, long good gem dispels to cake and foes, praise and homage, kind sublime Lady. On my heart moon stands green Tam, rounded mantra strands whose rays flow forth, return, fill two needs, one great sameness, bliss become. So you are luminous green Tara. At your heart, on a moon disk, on a flat white disk, is this luminous green letter Tam. And the mantra that we're about to sing and recite is moving around, it's moving counterclockwise around the Tam at your heart. That means the letters are facing inside. Om Tadi Tam Soha, Om Tadi Tam Soha. And from these letters, as it says, light flows forth, return, fill two needs. That means we're going to fill all of our needs. Light, green light expanding out with the first mantra is going to all of the Taras throughout space, and they are dissolving their blessings into that light, which is going to come back to our heart and make us even more Tara than before, filled with bliss, wisdom, and compassion. And we'll do that. We'll do that first mantra. We'll sing it together to begin with, and then some. We'll just say it in kind of very low whisper. Okay, so you're sending out light from your heart, green light this time. Om Tadi Tam Soha, 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 Om Tadi Tam Soha. Om Tadi Tam Soha, 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 Om Tadi Tam Soha. Om Tadi Tam Soha, 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 Om Tadi Tam Soha. There's no limit to how far the light can expand. There are Taras everywhere, blessing and sending blessings that you return as the light comes back to your heart. Om Tadi Tam Soha, 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 Om Tadi Tam Soha. Om Tadi Tam Soha, Om Tadi Tam Soha, Om Tadi Tam Soha, Om Tadi Tam Soha, Om Tadi Tam Soha. Om Daridam Soha, Om Daridam Soha. And now we're going to fulfill the needs, the welfare of all living beings. Now that we have been fully empowered as Tara, we send out rays of light in the 5 colors, red, blue, green, yellow, and white. And as the mantra Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha revolves around our heart, these lights go out to all beings everywhere throughout space, human beings, animals under the seas, birds in the sky. Wherever there are beings, our light finds them and offers them whatever they need to feel safe, free from fear, and also finally free from afflictions, free from all obscurations that obstruct their own enlightened nature, until when we have completed reciting this mantra, they have all become Taras, and we sit in a universe of Taras of all colors, all 5 colors, all sounding the sound Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha, 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 Tutare Ture Soha, Om Tare 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 Tutare Ture Soha, Tutare Ture Soha, Om Tare 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 Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. And now we do a purification of speech, which furthers the power of the mantra that we've been saying. And we recite the vowels and consonants of the Sanskrit alphabet. We will also recite the 100-syllable mantra, which is on page 14 of the prayer book. It's the same mantra that we do for Vajrasattva. And then a final mantra also, the Ye Dharma mantra that's here on your page. So. A, I, U, R, D, D, I, O, Ang, A, Kaka, Kaka, Nga, Kaka, Kaka, Nya, Kaka, Kaka, Nga, Tata, Tata, Na, Papa, Papa, Ma, Ya, Lava, Chaka, Saham, Kya. A, I, U, R, D, D, O, Ang, A, Kaka, Kaka, Nga, Kaka, Kaka, Nya, Kaka, Kaka, Na, Tata, Tata, Na, Papa, Papa, Ma, Ya, Lava, Chaka, Saham, Kya. Om Benza Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Benza Sattva Tenopa Tishtirtito Mebawa Sukokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Metayata Sarva Karma Sutsame Siddham Shriyam Kura Hung Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajimami Munche Vacha Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pet A, I, U, R, D, D, I, O, Ang, A, Kaka, Kaka, Nga, Chaka, Chaka, Nya, Kaka, Kaka, Nga, Tata, Tata, Na, Papa, Papa, Ma, Ya, Lava, Shaka, Saham, Kya. Om Benja Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Benja Sattva Tenopa Tishtirtito Mebawa Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Metayasa Sarva Karma Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kura Hong Ha Ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munche Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom. We'll do it once more for practice. A, I, U, R, D, I, O, Ang, A, Kaka, Kaka, Nga, Tata, Tata, Nya, Kaka, Kaka, Na, Tata, Tata, Na, Papa, Papa, Ma, Ya, Lava, Chaka, Saham, Kya. Om Benja Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Benja Sattva Tenopa Tishtirtito Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Metayata Sarva Karma Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kura Hung Ha Ho Bhagawan Sarva Tathagata Vajramame Munche Vajra Bhava Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Ped. Ye Dhamma Hetu Trabawa Hetum Tekam Tatagato Hiyawatet Tekam Chiona Roda Evam Vadi Mahashramanai Soha. Ye Dhamma Hetu Trabawa Hetum Tekam Tatagato Hiyawatet Tekam Chiona Roda Evam Vadi Mahashramanai Soha. Ye Dhamma Hetu Trabawa Hetum Tekam Tatagato Hiyawatet Tekam Chiona Roda Evam Vadi Mahashramanai Soha. And there's a piece we read here silently. Expressing what we can accomplish through this practice. Gaining power, gaining resources, above all wisdom. And once again, the offering of offerings to the senses. In Tantra, we work with the senses, we don't shut them down. So we express this here by offering to the five senses. Again, as Tara, we are offering to Tara, and this expresses many important things about how reality unfolds. Om Arya Tara Saparivara Bensra Agam Padyam Bhutpe Dupe Aloke Gande Naividya Shabda Rupa Shabda Gande Rasa Shabda Spashe Dhamma Pratishaho Pensha Balinda Rakta Kahi. Again, this song of praise to Tara. Let's sing it this time in English and also in Tibetan. freeing suffering all Buddha's yum, color true green blue swift heroine, long good gem dispels to geek and foes, praise and honor kind sublime lady. Gyalwa gunyam dung el gundroma, Nyurma bamo jangan margedang, longu genden duge drale gel, pama duje chen la chatsel dum. Tonight we are not doing the feast offering. We will do it on Sunday when we close our practice. We'll do a modified one on Saturday, very modified. So we go now, we're still Tara. We go now to page, it says page 10, but it's not page 10. We go to page 12. It's page 12 in these. It's the one, Prayer to Heart Essence Nyingtik Protectors. That page? Should be page 12. It's also in, okay. So, Ekadzati is the protectoress of the Dzogchen teachings. She's very important in all of the Dzogchen lineages. And so we conclude our practice by making an offering to her. And we will sing this. Our custom is to sing it 7 times, 3 times in Tibetan, once in English, and then 3 times again in Tibetan. She's being offered tea and maybe cookies, I don't know. And then those would get taken out, and we have some music with that. So we're still Tara. That's how we can make such a demand of a great being like Ekadzati, who is an enlightened being, a Dakini, very, very powerful, ferocious. And so we ask for her protection, for us, for our lives, for our practice, for the lineage, for everything connected with the goodness of our developing. Okay? Ekadzati dang, Transo Kepchik Rahula, Tamchen Toche Lupaso, Nitik Nyemba Dinsung So, Tamse Dixi Dharma Pool, Nelcha Dakla Gungo Cho, Chowe Chinle Mayadu, Hong Belden Ekadzati dang, Transo Kepchik Rahula, Tamchen Toche Lupaso, Nitik Nyemba Dinsung So, Tamse Dixi Dharma Pool, Nelcha Dakla Gungo Cho, Chowe Chinle Mayadu, Hong Belden Ekadzati dang, Transo Kepchik Rahula, Tamchen Toche Lupaso, Nitik Nyemba Dinsung So, Tamse Dixi Dharma Pool, Nelcha Dakla Gungo Cho, Chowe Chinle Mayadu, Hong Glorious Ekadzati and Rishi Vishnu Rahula, Oakbound Dorje Lake for all hardest since guardian host, take this torma and nectar, guard this yogi good refuge, trust your deeds alive. Om Belden Ekadzati dang, Transo Kepchik Rahula, Tamchen Dorje Lake for so, Nitik Nyemba Dinsung So, Tamse Dixi Dharma Pool, Nelcha Dakla Gungo Cho, Chowe Chinle Mayadu, Om Belden Ekadzati dang, Transo Kepchik Rahula, Tamchen Dorje Lake for so, Nitik Nyemba Dinsung So, Tamse Dixi Dharma Pool, Nelcha Dakla Gungo Cho, Chowe Chinle Mayadu, Om Belden Ekadzati dang, so chapchik rahula, Kanchan doje lake the soul, Imba Jansung so, Kanse dixi dama bo, Losar Dapa Green Drubcho, Chowe Chinle Mayao. And our dedication. And if you would like to add names, we'll keep all the names that we've had for the last several days in here, but if you would like to add names to whom we will dedicate tonight, I'll pass this around. By this good may I swiftly once become Jetsun Droma. That's Tara. Jetsun Droma is Tibetan. Lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground, freeing suffering, all Buddha's yum, color, true, green, blue, swift heroine. Long good gem dispels Dugek and foes, grant good fortune, kind sublime lady. And our long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama and our teachers, starting on page 25. Let's sing them in Tibetan tonight. Kangri rawe korwe shinkam su bentan dewa malu jungwe ni chenre zi wang den zin jatso yi shabe gyagya bardu zin jurchi tinle nam kadabur drubar shur Om swasti lume japne jatso du jinji Dendra gumbung drinchen jije, Jurme tubden chatso bel sangbo, Shabe den shik dendra gun kyab shor. Namo Guru, top of the next page, and the first paragraph on the top of 27. Namo Guru. Kitsen sambo yunden belden ba kanke shingdir zeba duwale daksha dung el narwadi gong ba nudu debar nudu dembar shu.
And how these prayer in English?
And in Harvey like the waxing moon, may your life and merit flourish grow. Through the threefold skillful pundits' deeds, live long benefiting all you meet. By the true power of two Vajra truths, 3 jewels, 3 roots, Buddha's compassion, faithful Sangha and aspiration, may this prayer be realized at once. And the prayer for Dawn Mountain on page 32. May there be a great fine new temple, a great seat for all high practice learning, which having spread in all directions, male and female yogis everywhere, practice and further the teachings there. I think others have read now. Thank you. Are you done? Having dedicated to our teachers, to all living beings, we are especially thinking tonight of Emily Mercado, Franz Mercado, Carolina, Grandmom, Wendy, Sam, Gloria, Anna Kiki, Opelius, Heinze, Fernando, Teresita, Marta, David Garcia, Bardo, Andreas and family, Pam Jordan, Philip Jonas' parents, Jen, Mom, Nana, Bob, Tibet, Forrest, Haley Mosier for a job, Tina Borna, Rosa Glenn Riley and family, Adolfo, Winston, Doug, Rudman family, Mike Schneider, Millie Schneider, David Merritt, Buddy Henderson, John Merritt, Sharon Jackson, Jerry Eddington, John Hyde, Megan Hyde, Jade Slavenka, Nam Vo, Diana Marks, Yang Huang, Susan Nordemeyer, Michael Friedman, people of Tibet, especially those who self-immolated, people of Syria, victims and soldiers, Whitney Houston, Devon's mother, Angie for a job, Claire V for a job, Dan Drollinger in the Bardo, Robert Servi, Terry Stuno's mother, Werner Kelber, Dan Kozort, Sharon Jackson, Buddy Henderson, John W., Andreas Reinhardt, victims of the high school shooting in Ohio, Sharon Smallwood, Jonathan Grossman, Perry's mom, Sherry Grossman, Brian Grossman, Jerry Grossman, Ding Shi, Maria Neumann, Lauren Thompson, Lulu Grossman, Franklin, the cat, Bobby, Mani Joshi, Jadlyn Hlavenka in Bardo, Mike, Gail, Aholrek Bierke, Clarity, Alex Kling in the Bardo, Elephanti Kling in the Bardo, Kelly Whitman's mom in the Bardo, Mark and Sharon Fowler, Angie for a job, people of Tibet and Syria, Jenny Piers, Janice Carey. Thank you. Recitation after dedication, page 30. Things, sounds, minds are God's mantras, true forms, kayas and wisdom in endless play. Through this profound and secret practice, be one with the one heartigly. And our awe, sound, and light from our hearts once more, another expression of our sharing our practice with everyone. We'll sing it during the puja. This whole thing. Delivering Tara, just as we complete. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. How nice. How nice. Welcome, Lori from California, who is overseeing our music and is willing to teach those of you who'd like to learn at 3 tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah. If we only have one drum here, if people have other kinds of drums, like sometimes there's like it's called a shaman's drum, which is a handheld drum that's kind of large. If anybody has those things.
But there's a chair drum here.
No,
Somebody could use. Yeah.
It has to be
Okay.
at least exposed people.
Okay. And welcome Michael from Louisiana and Nepal. So that's our Tara practice. And we're going to do it all weekend. We'll spend longer doing the mantras. You'll have a sheet if you want to learn the mudras slowly. You can learn that. Gradually you'll learn it more and more. We'll have wonderful music with it and various other elements that we'll explain as we go along, or if we don't explain them, you'll just enjoy them. So we look forward to being together. It feels like Tara's, it's coming. She's here and coming both. So do you have any questions? Yeah,
Just logistical question.
okay.
I haven't checked the Facebook site yet. What time does it start tomorrow, and what's the schedule?
Practice starts at 6:30,
Okay.
right, in the evening, yes. In the evening, and we'll go till about 8:30. And then, I forget, it's on Facebook, I think we're starting about 9:30 on Saturday, and we'll go till about, no, maybe we're starting at 10, but you're welcome to come early and just sit, that's very nice. Whatever Facebook says we're doing. I think formally we'll start at 10. It's actually really nice if you can come by a half hour before, or at least 20 minutes before, and just come and sit and just kind of settle the room. There may be some things going on because we'll be arranging things, but still, if some people are just sitting, it's very nice. So you're welcome to come a little early. Have to make sure that somebody be here. No, on Saturday. What?
Well, I'll be here. So.
Thank you.
Should we do Ngundro beforehand, or are we going to do that to start?
If you can do Ngundro beforehand, good. We'll certainly do some of it. I've been thinking about this. First I thought we would do it all through, but I think it's nice if you... Is it realistic? Will people be able to do Ngundro before, in the morning? Huh? Yeah? 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 Can you do that? If not, we can do it together. You want to know whether they're finished or not? Let's talk about it tomorrow. Think about what will work for you, and let's talk about it tomorrow, okay?
And is there a cost for the practice? I mean, we can always make a donation.
It is priceless.
Well, yes.
And donations are welcome, yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. There's no charge for enlightenment, but it does cost money, so. We can use these texts, and Mike has also just printed up some texts, which we'll make those available by donation also, if you like them. And we'll be having inserts and various Xeroxes coming up also.
Is the translation...
Why don't you wait for that. Mike, let's wait till tomorrow for those, okay? I'd love to, maybe offer one at the altar, and then, sorry, what?
Is the translation changed in the
No,
new?
it's
Okay.
not changed. Can you believe it? Nothing's changed. It's just a smaller size. It will. So everybody comfortable? It's a learning also. Get to hang out with Tara for the weekend. Anything else?
And just logistically, since we have a number of people here tonight, were you going to rearrange the menu?
She means, wouldn't it be a good idea? Yes, let's rearrange the room.
Yeah, but especially we have...
Since we have people, and we have one heavy thing to lift. We need to bring that, in a formal practice, Drubcho, there's a certain way that you sit. We're going to sit in rows. Those of you who have robes, please wear them tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday. We're actually beginning tomorrow. That's our first formal session. So the room will be set up. Lori's working very hard, actually, with some good help from our friends who've been gathering the things together that we need. So yes, good idea. Thank you. We'd like to set up the room if a few of you can stay for a few minutes. Anything else? We'll say more on Friday, tomorrow night. Basically, we'd like to spend all day Saturday together. So we're thinking, but it might be too hard to be in this room all day. And it worked out very nicely last year. We all went out for lunch together. And then we'll ask people to contribute, and then we'll order food in for dinner. So we'll all be here together and kind of hold the container, since we're doing it for really such a short time. Anything else?
Annie, are we going to be doing a mantra chanting thing this time?
The mantra chain, yes.
Okay, so is someone going to arrange the shifts?
We'll try to work that out by tomorrow.
Okay.
Would somebody like to do that? Make a sign-up sheet and just keep it. So the mantra chain, what this means is that when we do what's called a Drubchen Chin, a great accomplishing practice. The chain keeps going 24 hours a day, so all night long. We're not doing that. But what we are doing is we're keeping the chain going throughout the day. That means through lunch and supper too. So a couple people will stay at lunch and will bring you food if we can. If that proves too difficult, we'll formally close the chain and reopen it again. But the whole time that we are here, there are ideally 2 and possibly 3 people sitting. We'll have a row of chairs back there where you sit, and what you do is, and Lori will explain, there's a way to open the chain and close it, and we'll do it in about maybe hour and a half shifts, if that's what we did last year. And you're holding the mantra, so that whatever else is going on in the room, wherever we are in the practice, you are just sounding the mantra. And it's a great support, actually, for everyone. You do it very low. It's not a strain on your voice, and it's a chance, really, to sink into the presence of, the mantra presence. So we take, do we do both? Do you move between the 2 mantras? We'll explain tomorrow. But the Tara mantra, Om Tare Tam Soha, and maybe some Om Tare Tutare Soha. Huh? You did both or just one? I think it's just the first one. But we'll give you, we have instructions for that. There'll be instructions for that. So then you're just there sweetly doing the mantra for your turn. And some people may be asked to, or will need people to repeat, depending on how many people volunteer to do it. So please consider doing it. It's a really important part, actually, of the whole thing. It supports everybody, and it's a nice thing for you to do also. Anything else? Yes, just Julian.
Are there, I guess, especially in the days leading up, like now, are there any, I guess, supplementary practices at home that you would recommend?
What a nice question. As much as you can maintain your daily practice, setting of attention, refreshing your intention, that your practice really be beneficial. You can do that in formal practice during the day. You can just kind of remind yourself as you're walking around, I'm going to be practicing. I'm practicing now. May this really be helpful. The Vajrasattva practice is always associated with tantric practice because it's purification. So if you feel like you can do that on your own, you can definitely do that, even just the mantra, even just the short mantra, Om Vajrasattva Hum. Basically, any of the practices that we've been doing, refuge, Boddhicitta, Vajrasattva, setting of attention, dedicating, they're all supportive of the Tara practice. That's very nice, yeah. Anything else? Yeah, Kwan. Would you mind using the microphone? Sometimes people are listening.
Well, during the practice, the deity dissolves in me and become the deity, right? Is there two dissolving? Do you have to do dissolve twice?
No, why would you dissolve twice? Oh, I see. This is just the explanation. Tara now dissolves in ourselves, all becomes empty. Is that what makes you think there's 2?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. No, it's just one thing. Every Tara dissolves into you and you dissolve into space. It's really just like, in some ways, it's like what we do in refuge. The point is everything dissolves into space, so we're starting from literally the ground up. The ground, the emptiness, the base, the ultimate matrix of everything. Everything's melted down to that, and then everything arises out of that. So we're learning something about what reality is like, capable of producing all of this.
Thank you.
I didn't find some of my supplies. We need 4 Vajras. So if any of you, you know what it is, if you have one that you'd be willing to donate for the weekend. The mantra, we have 2 mantra chords, like strings, and each cord needs a Vajra on the front end and one on the back end. So we need 4 of them.
I have some at home.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many, 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I
would-
think there's one here, no? Did you look on here?
I'll look. I haven't. Okay.
Huh?
Last year there was enough here, but they're kind of all.
Yeah, there are probably enough around. We'll look.
In order to set up, we need to have all 4 of them. It would be nice to have them early tomorrow night because it holds the mantra chain.
Okay, so I'll look quickly and see what we can find here.
Okay.
And then, you have one you can definitely bring, okay? Somebody else? 2? Okay, 3? I'm pretty sure I have, so if we could bring them, a little early
Be
tomorrow.
sure you mark them in some way, like tying a certain colored string to it so you can get it back later.
Okay. So if you're able to help a little bit us arrange the room, that would be great. And we'll see you tomorrow. Some people will be musicians by tomorrow night.